YouTube, what's going on? HRG here, back with some more off and pacing. Like I said, I'm grinding this game behind the screens, behind the scenes, well, technically behind, same thing. You guys get the point. My goodness. Show you what we did. So, Mr. Isolation, he's kind of been up and down as of late. Tried different drivers. I've had to move him up in class. He really hasn't been able to find 500 per lifetime start. I've had to race him a lot in these 5 and 6,000 non-winners, and they're just a little bit too tough for him. So, again, it's been a struggle, but we're gonna go ahead and get him into a race. Wait, they said he's in a race. I wonder if we're at that point in the calendar yet. I guess not. Okay. Okay, they're both in races. Well, let's move on to our 6-year-old mare, Everything She Wants. Now, she has won under 2K in her last 5 time starts, just over 10K lifetime. And last time out, she had a horrible 10th place finish. But before that, she finished second. That was again in a non-winners of 500 per lifetime start. You see the difference. Move her up in class to the non-winners of 2 races lifetime, and yeah, she doesn't even compete. So that's important. Good thing is we're going to go ahead and buy another horse today because I have 55,000, and I think that's enough for my next horse, or it could be 100K, but I think it's 55. Then after that, it'll be 100K. A lot more attainable. Let's go ahead and look at Raging Tornado because this guy has finally started to win for me. 2 wins back to back. We're going to watch both of these at the same class level, non-winners of 500 with Derek Gilner and the Sulky. But most importantly, wins matter. And now that puts him at 5K in his last 5 time start. So Raging Tornado finally starts to show some promise. Let's go ahead and watch at Northfield Downs here and see how the ride was. We'll have post position 3 in this race. I don't think I had any of my other horses. No, Everything She Wants will also be in post position 1 with Jimmy Marin as the driver. So the 1 and 3 are who we're watching in this race, but specifically the 3 horse. So I'm gonna go ahead and look for the 3, and there we are. So we're off and pacing. I'm just gonna say that, but off and trotting could apply as well, because the game really doesn't specify in the actual conditions, but maybe the horse profile does. I could just be missing it. So, pretty easy here. That's going to be the 5-horse Gosh, ridden. We're going to be driven by Pacey Clark, 28 1/4. So, not going with any real pace. Let's go ahead and speed this up. So, yeah, I'm actually just going to simulate it like this. So, my 2 horses stayed 2 and 3. We pretty much stayed. The half went 57 and 1. That's pretty typical. Everything She Wants popped the pocket there, if I could speak correctly, with Jimmy. And she went to go for the lead. 3/4 went 126 and 2. And then you have Raging Tornado just kind of stalking on the inside, going around the stablemate. And did we finish maybe 1-2? Yeah, we finished 1-2 in that race. So that was actually a pretty good drive by both drivers there to have both of our horses hitting the board. That was on July 7th. Let's now go to the July 9th win here with, again, Derek Gilner handling the job for Raging Tornado. And did I have another horse in this field? I did not. So it's all Raging Tornado in a field of 8. So these are some good wins I'm starting to rack up here. So I'm starting to get some momentum, some confidence. And we post position 2. We'll go ahead and follow that. And we're off and pacing. So really good start here for Raging Tornado. Derek actually gets him out to the front. I was not expecting that. But then there's going to be 7-horse Blastum with Jimmy. Go ahead and overtake us 28 and 1. Typical fractions here at this track in Northfield Downs. So, and we're sitting there right in second. So again, an easy trip. And it seems like Raging Tornado and my horses need to be in second. Now that half went 57 flat, so a little bit faster than the last race we ran. But yeah, second place seems to be the key here, tucked right behind the leader. Just wait for the rail to open, 126 and 3. So yeah, a little bit faster pace here, faster tempo. That's Blastum still leading the way. And then 3/4 went 26 and 3. And then a late run there from Raging Tornado at the end to Blastum. I kind of want to watch that again because I was kind of like, was I the only one watching that thinking like, wait, they're not going around again? Why does it seem like no one's making a move? That was kind of a weird ending to that race. So I'm not going to watch the whole thing. I'm just going to simulate to the end and actually see kind of really how the breakdown was happening, because that appeared a lot, a lot slower than I thought. Until, I just finally seen like Racing Tornado just had an absolute stretch burst, right, for my Gallup Racer fans, and then absolutely took off. But yeah, that was really weird. I don't know if I've watched a race that awkwardly end in this game in quite some time. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and wait till they get to about 3/4, slow the speed down, and then just kind of see what happens here, because I was, so happy for the win. But yeah, like I said, it really kind of broke down in a weird way. So it's still Blastum leading. Raging Tornado tucked there to the inside. As you can see, we had a late run there from the 6th as Missy Midnight with the surge. And I guess we kind of stayed like this. Blastum looked like he was taking off. Raging Tornado seemed like he didn't have an answer, but then he moved to the outside at the very end and then just, I guess, just really overtook. So actually a very patient drive just to go ahead and kind of just get there at the end and snipe out Blastum for the win there. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a textbook drive, slowing it down just in faster motion. It looked like, man, like, was that a long stretch drive run, or was that just kind of a last minute? And yeah, the finish line was pretty much right there, but just ended up getting there. So that's great for Raging Tornado. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can hook them up again. These races seem repetitive and mundane to do, but if anyone obviously pays attention, this is kind of what happens in real life. You have the same drivers and sometimes the same horses winning at the same tracks on a weekly basis. So that's kind of what you do against the same class, like, of horses, more or less. And again, this is one of those situations now where, I was going to say Raging Tornado didn't have a 500 lifetime start. There we go. We'll get Derek in there. Cool. So what I'm going to do is buy another horse if I'm able to do so. And I think I'm able to do so. Yes, I can. Cool. So we can purchase another colt or filly between the ages of 2 and 4 for 50,000 coins. We'll do it. I think. I'm waiting. I hope. Yes, there we go. And it's a 2-year-old black colt. Okay. Awesome. So this one's going to be special. 2-year-old black colt. I've been thinking about for a name. Man, doing this on the spot is always so tough, but I'm going to go ahead and do something unique. I'm working actually on a solo art project for one of my things behind the scenes. I may reveal that one day, but it's very niche. Not in a major sense, but just like, if you know about it, you know about it. Aston Martin Drive. Most of you, should know by now I am a Formula One fan, huge motorsports fan. That's actually my main thing that I'm doing or getting ready to make a career transition for. And I'm hoping, I've been hearing rumors of Max Verstappen to Aston Martin with Adrian Newey. If anyone's paying attention to that, that would be insane. I don't think it'll happen, but it may happen, so I'm not saying never. But yeah, I love Aston Martins, always have. I think they're cool. Nonetheless, I'm not going to go on and on, but nonetheless, here he is. And from Canada. That's interesting. Bred by Rose Fillies. This stable. And they have had quite some success. 439th ranked in Canada. Essentially 2000th ranked in the world. Way higher than I have been. And this horse had 118 starts with only 6 wins. So, yeah, I'm excited. We're going to go ahead and get him into a 500 lifetime start, as always. I think we should be able to get him into this one. And I'm going to go ahead and use Francesco. This is a driver that has one for me here. So now that I have 4 horses, our next horse that we can buy is going to be at 100K. So it's going to be a bit of time in regards to, how to win consistently. When I say win, I mean at least finishing in the top 3, getting coins, which adds up to allow you to buy horses. I'm doing this completely free to pay. I know you can obviously spend real currency and just kind of do that. And if this series gets popular enough on the channel, I may do that at some point if it'll make for entertaining content. But for now, I want a free to play, and I do it on my off time. And I'm still learning the meta, so it's really giving me a passive way to figure out what conditions really work with horses, drivers, etc. Now we're on technically. Our biggest winner is Mr. Isolation right now, and I want to see what his record was prior to coming to with us. So he was a sire that had 115, a chestnut horse. I am just looking all over the place, but 115 starts, 5 wins, right? So where we're currently at with him, 25 starts, 3 wins, 1 place, 4 shows. If I'm reading this right, it feels like I'm actually doing better with the horse than what the initial owners were doing, the initial connections. And I'm not saying that they had no idea what they were doing. Look at their ranking, but these sound like stables and players that probably have dozens, if not potentially hundreds of horses, but I would say at least dozens. So they probably are looking for very finite, master class, top ranked horses. They're the high PvP level players. This type of horse is not going to stay long on their list or in their party, obviously. But for someone like me who's just starting out, 25 starts, 3 wins, that's not bad, right? Lifetime mark 149 and 3 here for Mr. Isolation. So this 5-year-old chestnut, don't think that's too bad, right? And it's hit the board 8 of his 25 lifetime starts, so it could be more consistent. Let's look at everything she wants in a little bit more detail. Now, she's mine's completely, but she did, again, have 118 starts with 16 wins prior to obviously now being my horse. It says owned and bred by me, but she definitely, and this is my ranking, huh? We have 87 starts as HRG Racing, 6 wins, 6 places, 8 shows, 13% win average. It's not awful, right, for a completely new stable starting out, right? Running against real players in the United States, or for the world at this matter. Currently ranked 8,000th. But considering, like I said, I'm just starting, I mean, yeah, it shows that I'm finding my footing slowly, right? There's no easy, like, I'm not, this is just me learning the game, figuring it out. But yeah, 33 lifetime starts, 1 win, 2 places, 3 shows here for everything she wants. So I want to get her winning average a little bit higher. But let's look at Raging Tornado. Beforehand, 114 starts with only 1 win. So far with me, 29 starts, 2 wins, 3 places, 1 show. Lifetime mark 154 flat. So yeah, I'm finding some real enjoyment in this game, despite how passive it is. I'm finding a reward in just grinding it out kind of slowly throughout a week, and then just seeing the progress of the coins in your horse's performance. Sometimes hit strides and up and downs, but it keeps me in the game. Aston Martin, so we have him booked, right? Yeah, he'll be racing in the morning, so this will be something you guys will probably see, obviously, later in another updated video. And do we have new results? I think we do. Okay. So Mr. Isolation finished 3rd in Syracuse. That's not bad and that was a step up in class. Everything she wants. She finishes 4th, so could improve on that. And she's had different drivers. I'm going to see if I can get Jimmy back with her, the 6-year-old mare. See if we can drop her in class as well, because she's technically racing outside of her limits. But just kind of speeding through this because I automatically know what races I need to get them. I could stack, no, I can only do 2 of my horses in a race. I was going to stack 3. Could do non-winners, 4,000 last 5. That's still higher, but it's the lowest drop in class I think she'll be able to do. So I'll take the chances. I'll get Jimmy in the sulky and see if we can maybe get a top 3 finish there. And then Mr. Isolation finishes 3rd in Syracuse. We'll get him in a race, and then we'll watch that Syracuse race to close out here today. He's been racing with Brandon. Yeah. If you're playing this game for the first time, or maybe I'm at least giving you some motivation to maybe give it a shot, definitely stick with the same driver and the same horse for like over 10 races. Like, you need to really get that data, otherwise you won't really know if it's working or not. That's what I've at least learned myself. And 10 is just a random number. I'm saying stick to it for at least over a dozen. I promise you it'll probably be better worth your time. Now, I could move to this Rocky Mountain Raceway 1 mile. It's a harder track, and I've been struggling there, but It's not impossible. I could also move. I might double stack. Double stacking my races aren't bad because I have some good paydays doing that if I have the right class of horses there. So this will be with, who did I say? I said, wait, is he on here? Jimmy. I thought I already put Jimmy back. Or Brandon? Mr. Isolation. Yeah, Brandon. That's why. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Because I got into a weird stretch of like having different drivers on horses that I didn't need for a stretch of time. And then it kind of threw me off. So that's literally what just happened there. So yeah, Brandon Gibbons back for this non-winners of 4,000 lifetime. But in the meantime, let's watch Mr. Isolation's third place finish to close out here today. Age non-winners of 5,000 in the last 5 at Syracuse. So we're the only one of our stable in this field. We have post position number 6. All right, let's see how this plays out. Look for post position number 6. Let's get the zoom. And we should be off in pacing. Okay. It's going to be Amito Mingi going to the lead there. We're tucked in behind because I'm the lead guy. Oh, quite a few horses in front of us, or at least the ticker's outdated. No, a couple horses in front of us. Actually did not see the 2-horse, even though I saw it down there at the bottom. So the quarter went 25-1, half went 54-5. Now we're making a late move 3/4 as we hit to the stretch here. And down the stretch we come. Pretty good run, and like I said, we know we finished 3rd, so we're really just looking to see how that happened. And yeah, it was a really good stretch run, and we were actually in the lead. Wow, so he must have just tired out. 3/4 went 124-1. Yeah, completely tired out. See this 1 mile track, just a little bit tougher in the end. That's a horse that would have won that at a shorter distance, right? So yeah, it's not a bad run there for Mr. Isolation. It's a 3rd place finish against other PvP often pacing players. So I take those results as a win because it's hard to win when you don't know what you're doing. And that's how I was playing this game my first round. I think you guys are seeing them doing things with a little bit more focus here. But yeah, it's going to be a while. I have 95,000 more coins to earn completely free to buy my next horse. And that's all I'm going to keep doing. I'm just going to keep racing these horses until they can't race, or until, you know, I feel like they just are not even placing in the money anymore. And I think I figured out my routine, and my momentum can continue to carry forward, and I can continue to stack, and then hopefully yeah, maybe eventually get a really nice horse. Eventually I will probably buy a horse, and I really wanted to get to breeding. I'm not sure if I'll be in a position to do that with my horses. I don't know what the requirements are for that. I think you have to win still a certain level of races. I'm just guessing. It says it right here, 1 million coins, posted stud publicly, mares can only breed once per season. Doesn't say anything about winning certain races though, so maybe it's just a matter of a financial thing, which, yeah, I would pay to unlock the ability to breed if it meant we could start breeding our own pacers or trotters here. In the long run. But again, that's a long-term thing because I don't even know if this series is going to depend on if you guys are watching it, enjoying it, if I see that there's actual viewership for it, and just an overall demand to actually see more often pacing, even if I'm just doing it in this way. If that's the case, yeah, I think we could get into that, but let's just kind of take it slow here still and see what happens. That's going to do it. I appreciate you guys for love and support. So next time, HRG signing out. Hope you have a great pizza today. We'll see you later, and goodbye.